This
This
is an
is an
Oddcast.
Oddcast.
Excuse me.
Best intro ever.
Best intro
Diba?
ever.
I was gonna think of something stupid or clever, but like I'm not.
Wala na
gonna try.
makakatap dun.
This is another episode of the Oddcast. This is an Oddcast, and today, Kev, sabihin ko lang galit ako sa'yo.
Oo, galit din ako sa'yo eh.
Sobrang galit ako sa'yo.
Ikaw nang upit dun sa tindahan ng
Tangina
yelo
mo
eh.
kung sabihin sa lahat ng tao.
Okay lang yun, Diyos ko.
But dahil professional tayo dito sa Audify, I will host this with you.
Okay, whatever.
So of course, this is Leandro de los Santos. This is Leandro Diaz. Last week ba? No, last week I was on. So yeah, I am today's host again. And with me today is of course this motherfucker right here.
Ewan ko sa'yo, hype ka?
Hype ka rin.
Alam mo, gusto mo na fun fact?
Fun fa.
Mm-mm.
Ano?
420 bukas.
As of recording, because this is gonna be released May
O di
something.
420 today,
Okay. Tapos?
yun lang.
Okay. But in any case, what's going to happen in this episode is very exciting because if last week we talked about... What the fuck did we do last
Alam mo,
week?
wag na natin i-timeline. Hindi naman nila malalaman kung kailan natin sinut eh.
Hindi, ano ba nangyari? Ano yung episode last week? Last week meaning release date, ah?
Ano? Networking.
Thank you, Mr. DJ
Oh,
Magbano.
kausap natin si Frankie, siya Tita Baby. Oh.
So if last week was all about networking, this week we're going back to what we're very much comfortable with here in the Oddcast, and it's really more on the creative realm again. But unlike the previous episode where we talked about copywriters and positions like that, we want to be able to talk about something that's more encompassing, I would say. More encompassing to the creative experience of marketers worldwide. That sounds so fucking professional as fuck. But at the same time, feel ko bardagulan dito ngayon because of our guests today. Now, let me introduce you the guests. Actually, no. Maybe you guys can introduce yourselves. Tell us about who our guests are.
Hindi.
Ano?
Para unique. Magsabi mo na sila na animal.
Oh,
Tapos magpakilala sila.
I'll defer to you. Okay, go. Okay. Choose an animal.
Barracuda.
Barracuda. Why Barracuda?
Because like we had a project before that involved like a sea trip, and then it was like storming while we were on boats, and then I was like panicking, and then while I was in the middle of that storm, it was like mist everywhere. It's white out. I saw this fish just go do that, like
Wow.
just jump out of the water, and it's like, oh, that's a beautiful sight amidst the chaos. And then the fisherman went like, oh, saro barracuda yun.
So that's why you're named Gray.
Yes, hi everyone. My name is Gray Santos. So if he's Leandro de los Santos, I'm Gray the Found Santos.
Fucking A, this is gonna be a long night. Okay. So Gray, tell us about, we already know who you are, but yeah, maybe let's tell the viewers who you are.
Hi viewers. Oh, okay.
What do you fucking do?
So for the Odd Group, I'm an art director for Prodd, which is the production arm of the very sort of like group of company that we have. If you saw the episode with DJ Magbano, hey, shout out to DJ Magbano over
Shout
there.
out DJ Magbano.
Balita ko, pogi yun ah.
Yeah. If you guys saw that episode, so I work directly with the guy, and we always quarrel. No, just kidding. No, we never. For some reason, we don't disagree on an idea. It's kind of boring, actually.
Oh, he's boring.
Kailangan ba may conflict para ano?
I mean, I guess this like.
Kurutin mo siya habang nag-argue kayo.
We already tried that. Just kidding.
Fuck me, man. All right.
in like an order that would surprise you too.
I don't know if I should keep this in.
Mahihirapan si Leandro this episode.
Oh, that's like my entire goal. That's like my entire goal. When I found out like you're editing the sound and everything for this, I'm just like,
On the other end of
that
the
should
line.
that should be your goal too, man.
Oh, I can't
will,
even
don't
transition. I can't even transition. On the other end of the line, of course, we have a very special guest. Someone who isn't part of Audify, thank God.
Yes.
Mr. Hans
Hello, everyone.
How about you introduce yourself to us?
Oh yeah, should I say an animal again? Because like
Oh sure,
yeah,
I
I
would
pretty much
love.
like preparing for that.
Go ahead.
Because like he gave a really good explanation why is it a barracuda. I'm definitely a cockroach, because I love cockroaches, and I'm gonna make this podcast so weird as fuck.
I love it.
I'm just kidding.
I love it.
We just met anyway. That's why they're not reacting. So like my humor is like weird. Anyway, I'm Hans Rivera.
Yeah, we just met.
Yeah, so you can't really talk shit
No,
about
but
me.
I feel like maybe 30 minutes in, when I'm like drunk, because I'm probably gonna drink Kev's drink also.
Yes.
Oh.
Thank you.
What did you put in this?
We'll tell you in a bit. Actually, on that note, let's introduce tonight's drink of the night.
Oh my god.
So in the Oddcast, kasi every episode we have a drink of the night sponsored by the Odd Cafe. Odd Cafe is open every day from
Every day ba?
9.
Hell yeah.
Teka mo.
9? What time does Odd Cafe open?
I love the rosata.
Eight?
It's so good.
To 11.
11 ng gabi.
Yeah?
We're located where?
What's the Finman Center? Yes.
I got you.
131 Tordesillas Street, 7th floor, Finman Center.
Wow.
So if you want quality coffee, if you want quality coffee and cocktails
And a workspace.
and a work, wag yung internet natin.
Okay nga pala. Nahihirapan na ako
Mahirap na
mag-download,
kami
mag-torrent eh.
Hirap mag-torrent dito.
Okay. Wag na
If
pala,
you want
hindi pala
quality
workspace.
coffee and cocktails, head on over to the Odd Cafe for quality drinks like this. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is our drink of the night. It's called the New Fashioned.
Wow.
New
That's so
Fashioned.
witty.
May libreng steak. Oh.
Tangin.
Is that really a sticko?
I
Try-
think
can
this is a wood from the ayahuasca.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
I wish.
so people from Odd Cafe, they got this from Colombia. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just shitting on them.
It's
But
a lot
it's
of
pretty good.
wine.
I'm pretty
It's
sure.
spirit of 420?
Ang sinasabi nila, ginagamit mo to pang steer ng drink.
Oh.
Oh.
Para ma-infuse yung cinnamon sa...
I actually didn't.
Y-
Okay.
yun sinabi.
Honest question though.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
I
is this
wasn't-
edible? Because I'm gonna take a bite.
Sige, pwede naman.
If it's not.
This is cinnamon.
Mukha naman siyang steak, oh.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. Try it out. Go.
Yo,
Oh,
he just said that it was edible, but he's also like shaking his head.
hindi. Pwede siyang kainin.
I'm pretty sure it's edible, but it's like spicy as fuck.
Have you tried waffle sticks? Parang ganun lang din.
I'm now put on the spot. I normally just do this. Like, so do you still?
Have you tried licking a wood?
What?
Oh yeah, this podcast is going places.
So anyway,
dilaan mo na
sorry.
lang.
Before you lick wood or anything like that, so the old fashioned is essentially Odd Cafe's take on the. Oh, sorry. The new fashioned.
You got
is
this.
Odd Cafe's take on the old fashioned. There we go. Old fashioned is of course a whiskey based cocktail with bitters and all that stuff, but with the added twist of cinnamon. So cheers to that.
Cheers to
that.
Cheers. Ito na ang last sip ko.
Kampe.
Fuck you, dude.
Love you.
shit.
Cheers, guys.
It's so
Welcome to the
Cheers,
show.
cheers.
Thank you. Really odd
Cool.
welcome.
Gago.
Ang sarap.
I'm gonna die.
All I'm gonna say
Ako
is
nagustuhan ko siya.
Zam.
Okay. Clapper part 2. Sorry. Okay, so I want to talk to you guys about, of course, we all know that Gray is an art director for Oddify. Hans, are we allowed to say?
Yeah, sure.
You know what? I actually don't know how to pronounce it.
Feature media.
There we go. It's
Yeah.
called feature.
But you can also
I
say-
thought it was feature.
Yo, I
Feeder?
just told you.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I guess like a really quick background. Like the Fat Kid Inside Studios is the main company behind Feature Media. Feature Media is the platform that we're handling. So we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube. It's pretty much our channel, but the company is the Fat Kid Inside Studios.
Right.
Okay. I just have to clear
so
that up.
you are your director or producer there?
I am a multimedia producer.
So what's your day-to-day like there?
Usually we work on conceptualizing ideation of shorts for me specifically, and I work hand in hand with the content producers and like developing stories and then developing the contents that we create and say on Instagram and even on YouTube. And it's pretty much a very wide job for me, because like multimedia producer is like basically you ideate and then you help produce, and then you're also going to be there during shoots for the logistics and stuff. So pretty wide, I might say. It's kind of like a, I don't know.
Sounds very similar to the positions in Audify also. Very encompassing, no?
Yeah.
Gray, what's your day-to-day like?
So
Other than ranting. Joe!
hello, I'm actually like
Hindi
a pretty nice guy, but so my day to day is almost the same as we've already talked about in a previous episode. Please go watch that. What Kevin's sort of like job entails. So as an art director myself, but since I'm an art director for Prodd, that means that I tend to do like things differently. My presentations tend to sound more like I'm enumerating like a Dungeons and Dragons game because I'm telling stories. Because
Spoiler alert.
like yeah. So yeah, my work tends to be more with video and of course like photos because of our lovely photographer over there. So yeah, and I can't like I guess like a part of my day is also like spent watching feature videos.
Oh wow!
No, I swear like
I'm flattered.
Super love ko nga content
Truly.
nila.
Actually,
Diba?
yes,
Very
honestly.
engaging.
dude.
If... Huwag na.
Na-curious nga ako sa concept na-mention niya kasi sila nagbe-brainstorm din pala.
Yeah. No,
On
but
how
like
it goes.
for feature, but like you guys, like what's the split between like if you were to give percentage split between brand work and like work that you guys do for your brand? Like what's that split?
Most of the time, you mean like the percentage of the amount of work that we do?
No, I mean like do you guys also do work that you do for feature itself?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So what's like the split between brand work? So I see a lot of brand work also where you partner with brands, right? Yeah, what's the split between the two?
Use the split. You mean like
Load wise.
load wise?
Yeah.
Percentage.
It really depends, but definitely the content that we create, because it's some sort, not really our bread and butter, but it's like the foundation of everything. It's the reason why we have like engagement and followers, like people like following us because of our content. But the
Right.
branded work is it really depends with the amount of clients that we get. So it depends with how much our boss are getting are getting the clients. So like I can't really talk about that fully because it's his
right.
job, but usually we are constantly working on our content for our brand. Not really a brand. Our personal channel.
That's more for
Yeah.
feature itself.
Yeah,
talaga.
for feature itself.
That sounds exciting. That's something that we also want to do with the Oddcast. Shout out. But that's the goal. That's the dream.
So are we gonna pitch here? Just kidding.
May lalabas dyan.
Yeah.
Okay, am I also like allowed to fanboy a bit? 'Cause,
Yeah, go ahead.
dude. I've been like a
He's been talking to me about
Yo.
you coming in the whole fucking day. He was like yesterday. I was like, "Yo, Greg, can you guest
That's
here?"
so
Who's our
cute.
other guest? Hans Rivera, and he's like, "Oh my god."
That's so cute. So are you underwhelmed?
Don't need your heroes nga, diba?
No,
Yeah.
but like honestly, like I've been like a subscriber for like I've been a subscriber for like 3 years.
Oh,
And
wow.
I've
Tagal nun.
I found their channel because I used to like have a project with your boss.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are
And-
we not allowed
No,
to
I'm not
say?
gonna say. I'm not gonna say.
Don't say boss
Are we
lang.
not allowed to say?
No, but I was like, it's boss. Yeah. Like but anyway.
It's so awkward saying his.
It's so
boss.
awkward, really.
Just say it. Just say it.
The
Just-
boss.
Bossing.
I'm not gonna say it. Anyway.
What's up with that? Is it like scandalous or something?
No, I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Like, if anything, like I want you to say.
Erwan.
Oh,
Name drop.
Jesus.
Hello,
Hey, are we
Erwan.
allowed to say that? I'm just
Are we
kidding.
allowed? Can we say his name?
Can we?
Erwan Usapang.
Oh yeah.
We can say that.
Ang ganda ng name niya.
So I work with him on a certain project that I'm not allowed to say.
Okay,
now.
that you can say.
That I can say.
You
yeah.
can say.
for sure.
But he was part of it, and I was like designing the set and stuff like that. And then, yeah, he was really nice to work with. But you know, of course, in doing that said project, I had to like research a bit, and that's where I found feature. I was like, oh, I love these things. Like
Yeah, the whole fucking day he was like, "Oh my god, I'm going."
Yeah, ever since I subscribed, like I've always just been like watching whenever
Na-hype
like,
siya.
there's new things. Like, it's like I like the style of
Oh,
storytelling.
thank you very much.
Agree.
Later we're probably gonna get into it, but like
Yeah.
the style of storytelling is like very
Yeah.
masterful.
You must have been like surprised because I was like talking about cockroaches and burping all the time earlier.
I feel like there's a part of us
Yeah.
that's always like about
I mean,
cockroaches
we're
and burping.
on
Cockroaches
Spotify.
and
Yeah,
boring. yeah, for sure, for
We're
sure.
not like
Normal fi.
Normal.
anal
Oh, I
beads, you
love
know.
Anal
that.
bees, yeah.
dildos. Right?
See,
That's
now
fine.
those things you
Part
can
of the
say.
course.
Oh,
Yeah, you can say dildo. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say something offensive, but that's like for a totally different podcast. Yeah. Anyway.
I wouldn't mind.
I want to hear it now.
Actually, do.
no.
Like, can you
no.
say tinortang pantalon?
Okay. Now
What
we
does
can
that
move
mean?
on.
Tinorta, like
Tinorta?
the eggplant?
Yeah.
Na talong?
Na pantalon. Like pants.
I love that idea. Actually, it
I wish I
must
was
have it
stoned.
must have tasted good.
Right?
Yeah.
See? Okay. See?
Well, before we go off the rails completely, talking about your role, definitely it's very important, and that's something that we were very interested in. I mean, we got you as guests for a reason. I mean, your role in feature, your role as an art director for Prodd, but I'm also very interested in on how you got to this point in the first place. Like, what was your path to get to where you are now in terms of your career? Like, I know you graduated from UP Creative Writing. How did you jump into
That's
stuff
weird.
like that?
Just kidding. How do
I
you know?
do my research.
Oh.
I'm a professional.
Okay. Oh yeah, me. Me. I got to this point. Maybe it started with my upbringing, where I'm really, really into the arts. Like I'm a very art kid, I might say. Like I started with like music. I started singing. I started really getting into kind of like music first. So eventually I got into creative writing, and then so my thesis is pretty much about screenplay for film. So that's the reason why I got into films. I got into a lot of audiovisual medium, and then eventually, like I started doing filmmaking in college. And then I had a lot of friends who were like also into films, and then we make short films, like the funny ones. And then until eventually we got into like the serious business of like doing short films for like passion projects. And then that's how I got connected to a lot of like creative people, agencies, or like maybe entities which are like, which inspired me to kind of like get into the track eventually. That's why, yeah, it was actually a shot in the dark getting to the feature media actually. So when I applied, I got in. It was funny.
That's pretty straightforward.
No, really, like it was during that time that I wasn't doing anything, and then I saw this post of Erwin, and he's like hiring an editor. It was originally an editor, and then he was like, "Oh, do you want to be a multimedia producer eventually?" It was actually pretty straightforward, actually. And then I was like, "Yeah, sure." And then yeah, everything is now.
Yeah,
so cool.
I actually just made it sound cool, minus the struggles that I've had in the past, but that's gonna be off the record. No, I'm just kidding.
There's like a sad bit there somewhere, of course.
Don't assume.
I mean, like we're all as artists, like there's always like a sad bit there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What about you, Gray? How was your path to Oddcast?
So it starts with the sad bit. Just kidding. Just kidding. It's okay.
I need a little bit more alcohol for that.
Nah.
No.
I love how everyone just took us. Okay, cool. All right. So origin story of my life. Wow. Just kidding. No. I'll keep it quick. My parents were my number one inspiration. I know it's like pretty cliche to say that, but my dad was still is technically. No, he's retired. A senior art director for an ad agency. And it's
Really? I didn't know that.
it's a relatively big one.
Anyway,
Okay, can you say it?
Yeah, can you say it? Malay mo, kilala pala namin.
I don't know. Can I say it?
Yeah, si Mr. Santos.
No, I mean, I thought you were asking about the company.
The company, yeah.
Like, can I say it?
Yeah, gusto mo hulaan ko?
Okay, what is it?
Is it controversial?
No, it's not.
If it is, then say it.
Vowel ba siya?
No,
B?
there is a B in it.
Oh.
Diba?
No,
BBDO?
no.
The big agency?
Getting warmer.
Big agency pala yung pangalan, no?
Bodify.
DDB, Doyle Dane Burnett.
Oh shit! Really?
DDB.
You know, I used to work in DDB.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What's your dad's name?
Jaime. Hi, Dad. Dennis Santos. He's probably gonna watch this. Like,
Dennis?
Hello, Tito.
Deng. Like Dennis Santos, but he goes with
hire
Deng,
me
yeah.
for rackets.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
He doesn't work there anymore. But
Okay.
He doesn't work there anymore. But yeah, that's his gig before. Then my mom, who technically like majored in interior design, eventually became a fashion stylist. So like my whole life is just about arts.
Creatives talaga.
Yeah, I didn't know anything else until like grade 1, where I found out like there are other occupations. You guys don't draw. Our kindergarten revolved
May lawyer
in
pala.
drawing.
Alam ko
Pwede
lang,
mo lang maging
doctor.
policeman.
No, dude, I swear that was me. Like I was like, wait, all we did in kindergarten was like draw and color.
But you know what? You
So I was
are
like, are-
quite lucky, I would say, because there are a lot of people who are very, very interested in the arts, but they don't have
Yeah.
that same support system coming from their parents.
That's
So-
true.
Yeah.
So very lucky. It's very hard to encounter people with that sort of background.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely like felt the privilege, especially like when I was in high school and I was like using a stack of like Crayola markers, which are agency grade.
Wow.
Wow.
I know, and I was like,
Ilang Crayola mo? Ako 8 lang eh.
Ako rin.
I was definitely the kid with like the
Nagmi-mix pa.
64? Ikaw ba 64 ka?
60.
Bubulihin ko to.
I
Akin na yung 28.
no, only because
I love the
Only-
Korean slander.
only because they know which brands are good. You know, so like they want to jumpstart the kid, especially.
How do you
when-
pronounce? Is it Faber or Faber-Castell?
I think I don't. Okay, don't question me.
Okay. I never knew.
What language is that? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Continue. I'm just like
I know
curious.
that's definitely interesting. But yeah, like that's basically like my life, and I knew nothing but the arts, and so I feel like that was the only thing that I was sort of like pitching myself in. But I did think like when I was in college, taking fine arts, like I thought like I was gonna be different. Like I was gonna be more of an illustrator for books and stuff like that, rather than being in the advertising industry.
Books. Wow.
Yeah, because I'm more of like a illustrator, concept artist, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I took production design as a specialty. So I was like on that path, and then I was like, I'm probably not gonna be in advertising. But then like years later, oh, I'm in advertising, like my dad.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Na ano ka ba? Na-influence ka ba directly ng dad mo? Like, mag-ahensya ka anak, ganun? Or?
No, I didn't. Like, definitely they sort of like want me to forge my own path, and I wanted to do the same. So I guess I still ended up in an agency regardless, and I think that's a good thing. We think we're gonna get into that.
We are.
Wow, yeah.
And okay, there are a lot of things about agencies that people say. I think Feature is sort of, it functions similarly naman. I mean, you guys do have a lot of brand clients as well.
Yeah.
So when it comes to working in an agency, and we've talked about this in previous episodes of the podcast, there are some highs and there are definitely some lows. If I'm being honest, when you work in an agency, burnout is something that is very, it happens. It's prevalent. It happens. I want to ask you guys: are you guys susceptible to burnout in your field right now?
Currently?
I mean, in general.
Oh, in general?
Yeah.
I think burnout is essentially like part of the creative process. So I think, yeah, I might say.
That's a way to look at it.
How so?
I mean, because in order for you to kind of like create, you need to experience a lot of feelings.
Oh shit! That's the.
That's why
that's
it's
nice.
called humanities.
That's true.
The experience of being human.
Beautiful.
Why do I?
Why did it turn philosophical? I was supposed to
Yeah,
talk
I
love
about
it though.
cockroaches
Yeah, I
earlier.
I love it though.
Man, why do I always gotta follow up bangers like that?
Oh, ikaw, sige nga.
Ikaw ano sa'yo?
Okay, well, I feel like burnout is experienced not just between creatives. I think like in all aspects of any industry, burnout is felt because there's this sort of like expectation for everyone to perform at their best every time. But like if you work an engine at its best all the time and not like its sort of like normal state, it's gonna grow tired, right? But there's also like an upside to like this. Like if you're always working your best, then you can always like sort of attune your body to keep working its best to the point that it becomes its normal. And now you're looking for your next best.
So, kista ka in short.
We are artists anyway.
Damn. Damn. So, but like, do you guys recall any experience? Like, what happens ba when you're burnt out creative? Kasi I'm not in the creative space. Like, Kev he's a senior art director.
Nasa creative space ka rin, ha?
Stop.
Hey,
Not. Stop.
Nabe-burnout ka rin, ano ba?
No, yeah, but like from a creative standpoint kasi it might be different from me kasi I'm in strat. My role is in strategy. So the burnout that I experience might be different from how creatives experience it.
Burnout.
Like, how would you define or when do you know you're burnt out creatively?
That's a solid question.
Sa akin, naka-creative block ako. Parang wala akong maisip na maayos sa work at parang wala akong motivation. For me, ganun ang burnout sa akin. Well, sa inyo ba?
yeah.
No, I'm also like thinking of like a certain scenario where like it felt really sort of like hard to move. I feel like number one sort of like symptom to that is procrastination. Like that, that's definitely going to be like a thing that's
Definitely.
that's like a phase one of like burning out.
Stage 1.
Yeah, like you're gonna definitely like procrastinate, and then probably the next step is going to be something along the lines of you're just pushing yourself to find that inspiration, and then it ends up becoming like a quest for inspiration rather than like what's the very first thing you're supposed to do in the first place. And now there comes this sort of like existential crisis where now you're looking for yourself. Like, are you looking for an old self or a new self? It's so weird that happens like every time. It's so profound. It's so deep.
Parang may emotion, frustration.
Yeah, but like
That's true.
for some reason that's part of the process.
Trust the process.
Yeah, exactly. Like
It's-
feeling all of that. I mean, like, yeah. For me, no matter how deep what you said earlier, I want to say like how the physical manifestations of like burnout with me. So like we're in the studio and then I'm like editing or like writing or something. I'm with Ivan. I'm with Ivan inside the editing
Ivan's
room.
right there.
And then I'm in Ivan inside our editing room, and then suddenly I'm just gonna pull back my chair and I'm just gonna sing. I'm just gonna sing out loud or like shout or something. That's the point where I know that I'm burnt out. And then for like a good hour, I'm just gonna sit and then scroll through my Instagram or something, or like scroll through scroll through my internet, and then that's it. That's how it starts usually with me. That's like a very physical manifestations. But yeah, that makes sense that burnout is like part of the process. Like it's your call. It's like your human. It's like your biological marker that you're tired, that you need to rest, that you need to recharge.
Need a break.
Yeah.
Ganun.
That's an interesting take on that. Usually kasi when I ask people about burnout, it's very negative. It's very, fuck, I'm so burnt out. I don't want to do anything, shit like that. But you guys are telling me it's part of the creative process also. And that's very interesting to me. Which leads me to my next question kasi. And it's more about how, does burnout has it really affected your roles specifically? Were there times wherein creatively burnt out na kayo pero kailangan pa rin kasi ito yung trabaho, di ba? And how does that affect the quality of the work?
If it's time bound, for sure. Like if there's like a timeline, and then you're in the middle of like a deliverable, and then you need to kind of like submit something, and then you can just say that to the client that you're, oh my god, I'm burned out, I can't do this anymore.
I wish we
you
could.
can say that. I wish we could. Like in a perfect world.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does. Quality wise, maybe yeah, because all of the stuff that we create will never be the same way. Like it's never the best all the time, and I think that's the beauty of it, because like it's life in a macroscopic level. Like you see that you did this, you're still creating, you're still doing it, but whatever, you're still creating.
Personally, I think burnout is like, yes, I guess it's part of the process. Sometimes for me it isn't. I would say like sometimes I'm just like continuous with like my process. Like, oh, I just like this stuff, so I feel like I can do something about it. So that's the best case scenario, like where you don't really have to like mind anything like sort of sad at the moment. But whenever it does happen and it gets to like that crippling stage,
Oh
This is-
yeah, the big sad.
Yeah, this is
The big sad.
sad.
The big black sad.
This is like my personal way of like dealing with it. So I'm not saying like this is advice for everyone.
Yeah.
But so the thing is, I found this sort of like lesson from a motivational speaker who goes by the name of Stefan Taylor. Hey. Anyway,
Hey man.
so
What's up?
Hello, Stefan Taylor.
so he says like there are sort of like two things, right? There's your work, or like it's what you do, so that's your work, yeah. And there's who you are. So if you always call yourself as like your profession, so if for me, if I am gray and I identify as an art director, and it becomes my identity, then it's gonna turn into like a big sad if I failed as an art director. But if you learn to separate that line, you just sort of like you can fail in what you do, but you don't fail in who you are, then there's like all the better. Because like me as an artist, me as my sort of like multitudes of self, the things that I like, the things that I don't like, they're me, they're my personality. That's not gonna shake. My professions, whatever they may be, then that can fail, but I won't fail myself.
Damn, I like you.
That makes sense. Like I remember like listening to this podcast of like removing your own ego and like disassociating yourself from the things that you've created or like the things that you've identified with. I think like that's also important for us as creatives because like you're not your work, you're not your job title, and you're not like whatever the fuck you want to say about yourself. I think it's more of like knowing to be present. Oh my god, that's a very Buddhist thing to say, but yeah,
We like Buddha here, right?
yeah,
Yeah, we love Buddha.
Buddha's pretty cool.
Yeah. Very thick.
It's pretty chill.
Well, such... Ganda nun.
Pero may,
Ganda nung sinabi
may insight
mo.
ako. Ano ang difference ng burnout sa stress?
I feel like
Good question.
stress is like short term, right?
I feel like
to-
burnout is the effect.
The effect of stress.
Yeah, okay.
Parang when you're stressed too much, that's when you become burnt
Burnt
out
out.
from everything.
Oh, it's like
eh.
cause and effect, yeah.
Yeah.
Ah.
That's my take.
So stress
I
are
don't
like the
That makes
tiny
sense.
things that
yeah, it
lead
builds up
to
to
burnout.
burnout. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gets.
That's my thing. Yeah. And we all feel that. And I think the challenge of us being great, I mean, you guys
Kasama ka
being
nga.
I'd still say as well,
Hey,
yeah.
come
Come
on.
on.
This is a
Humble.
therapy session.
Copywriter to.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
And
but
you're also like hosting
it's
a podcast.
Yeah,
That's as
I
creative
know.
as you could get.
Lahat tayo creative.
Actually, nag-fish lang ako, pero thank you.
Okay, binabawi ka na.
I thought you guys hated each other.
nga pala, ayoko
Fuck
sa
you,
kanya.
dude.
Fuck you, man.
Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you.
What is the tea?
Don't get me started.
This is like their way of saying that they're burnt out of each other.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so
Tying it all
cute.
together,
I
man.
know, no. It's
But
like
we're professional,
Professional
here. That's
kami,
why,
kaya
yeah, that's why I'm here.
nag-work pa rin kami. Pero galit
Fuck,
talaga
I
kami
lost
outside.
where was I?
I don't know. You were talking about like stress and burnout.
Stress and burnout. Yeah. No, but like as creatives nga, diba? The challenge for us creatives, and because like you said, I totally agree that, you know, burnout and stress is an inevitable part of being a creative, especially in the advertising industry. But the challenge is being able to curb it. How do you guys curb the burnout? Like personally.
Yeah, well, definitely just it's so weird, but like in a professional work, like don't take it personally. You know, it's not always you that's lacking the skill. Like because like probably like in the first hour, first 30 minutes, you know, it's going to make you feel like, "Oh, it's me. The problem is me."
it's me.
Oh, hey, probably cover it anyway. But like, yeah, that's like phase one. I feel like it's like always self-blaming, right? And then, but like when you realize that there are like many factors to why this thing like came to be, like in terms of like external factors, like deadline, these things were rushed, stuff like that, like. And of course, like in the amount of time that you're able to do this, like it's not feasible to sort of like, you know, provide an output that's like, oh, it's supposed to take this long. But you know what? You squeezed it in this very short timeline. So there are things like that. Like you really got to let go of the self-blaming part. Is I feel sort of like if you spend so much time in like overthinking rather than underthinking.
What's underthinking?
Dude, just do it. Like, I have the,
Just be dumb and like let
Dude,
Jesus take the wheel.
yeah. Shout out to my friend.
Shout out to Jesus.
Shout out to my friend who literally just told me when we were playing like a video game
Underthinking.
co-op together. Like,
I love that.
I
term.
love underthinking. Yeah,
dude,
Yeah.
This dude just told me straight up like, just don't die, bro. And I was like,
Just don't.
yeah, like
I know. Excellent advice.
it was like a shooty game. But then when he
okay.
told me like, just don't die, bro. For some reason, I just didn't die.
Oh wow, that's
Like,
beautiful.
I
Actually,
know. Like it's just like I don't know. My brain just went, yeah, just don't die, bro. And I
underthinking could be a good TED talk for some reason.
Just don't
I'm
die.
like-
Just don't die the TED Talk.
Quote.
Yeah. Period.
Shout out Alex.
Mamatay ako. Just don't die.
I mean, honestly,
I'm
it's-
okay now.
dude. It sounds stupid, but like it got me through. Like,
Yeah, feeling ko ano na yung state of mind kasi.
yeah,
I feel like you're drawn to that. Just don't die, and then you're like, okay, I'm not gonna die.
it kind of sounds like sort of egoistic in a way too. Like,
Oh,
are you saying that you are going to die? Like, oh my god,
I
you're
mean,
gonna lose over
we
this.
all are going
Yeah,
to die.
we'll go there.
But not, hopefully not sooner
Yeah.
than most.
so black and white. Like, no, don't die.
Just don't die, bro.
How about you, Hans? How do you curb the burnout?
Oh, bitch, I'm gonna throw hands and be feral.
That makes sense.
No, I'm just kidding.
I love it.
Please don't take that personally. I don't do that. I'm a really calm person.
Throw hands.
And yeah, basically,
Is it like
Wait.
metaphorically throwing hands?
I'm just kidding.
Oh no, it is.
No, it's not. For me, it's just you do whatever.
Sorry.
Like I meant, like what I've mentioned earlier, that it is our natural response to nature, or like our biological beings of that we're stressed and we're like we've had enough. You also know innately what to do. Actually, like whether it could be like a trip away from the city, or like, but you can't do that when you're in the middle of like your editing or something and you have a client work. You literally can do that.
Or
Insert wind sound effects on the mic here.
you could.
I mean, unless
Pwede naman.
unless you could just ditch the whole thing. I'm not implying anything,
I'm
but
I'm a head out.
no, but like I think the easiest way to, not really the easiest, the thing that I do is I just be present with it. Like I feel the burnout, and I acknowledge that I am currently stressed. I'm currently feeling this, and then eventually I'll know what to do. Like it could be like a coffee, or like I don't know, like a good food or anything, and then eventually it finds its own way to like ease the burnout. And yeah, it usually helps. But in the long run, like on a bigger scale, if I'm like burned out and I can really feel the big sad that you're mentioning earlier, maybe a lot of ways. Sometimes I go on a trip, I hang out with my friends, I just
Go on
exist.
podcasts.
Go on a podcast like right now. No, I'm just kidding. Literally anything that I feel like doing. So I'm not really particular with
Right.
what I do. So
Right.
I mean, I know we were joking about like just sort of like going goodbye whenever like you're in a stressful situation, but I feel like there's like
Sometimes it makes sense to do
there's
that.
this great value in like escapism.
Yeah.
But like
Just don't be a dick.
that
about
is
it.
true.
yeah, but like you know what? There's like two ways of doing it. Like you can either like escape immediately and just call it quits because like you found your limit, and that's fine. I feel like most of the time it's okay to just sort of admit that this is me pushing it, right? But there's this other way, which like normally how I would
What, crying?
no, just kidding, no.
Shower crying.
It's always
Hey,
okay to cry, guys.
that's also another thing. Yeah.
It's always okay to cry, guys. But this other thing I'm talking about, like in terms of escapism as well, is you look forward to it. Like it's the thing that makes you want to finish the task,
That is true.
right? So, for example, like there's this trip that you got planned,
Yeah.
but there's this hurdle in the way. So you got to get through that first, but then like your reward is this amazing trip,
Mm-hmm.
right? Your vacation and stuff like that.
And really, like dopamine, you can get it anywhere, literally. So you just, yeah, for sure, that also. But then
yeah.
For 19, almost lighting it up.
the reward hormones is just, you can get it anywhere. and you just have to find out whatever you feel like doing. It could be as easy as just like standing up and then stretching.
Yeah.
Or like looking at a cockroach again. It's a
That's
recurring
true. That's
material.
true.
Yeah,
I think we
cockroach.
all need to find an outlet
Yeah.
for us to be able to, curb that and try to listen and try to get back to who we feel comfortable with as people. But like for me, I mean, to answer that question also, I try to find ways to also, find an outlet towards that creativity as well. For me, it's podcasting. If I'm being honest, only reason why there's a fucking Oddcast in the first place is because
Good for you, man.
this is my. The only reason why, hindi naman only reason why there's an Oddcast. There are a lot of different reasons why. I pitched this to my boss. Hello, Via. But
Shout out,
one
Via.
of the bigger reasons why I wanted to do this Oddcast with the team that I have now is because I wanted us to have a creative outlet also, because the daily grind of advertising work, it takes a toll, and sometimes there are times we just want to do things we want to do. And this is an opportunity for us to be able to do that. I mean, where else can you find the opportunity to, creatively impact this thing that we're doing, not for brands but for us. Diba? Parang, we're honestly we're just fucking around here most of the time. But at the end of the day, we get shit done here, and it's something that we like to do, and that's my creative outlet. And even when I had my old show, also that was my creative outlet. I want to ask you guys, other than those the things that you mentioned in being able to curb your kinds of burnout, do you guys even have any creative outlets outside of work that you turn to whenever you feel like I just want to go back to what I'm doing personally?
Me, definitely film. Film is like my first love. And that's what pretty much like got me into this. So whenever I feel like it's becoming, it's taking a toll on me, I go back to film, and then I just started writing my concepts, and I started talking to my collective, talking to my friends about when is the shoot, or like, what are we going to do for this? And I'm just developing. I mean, like for film, like it never goes away. Like I always have a project for some reason, like, for fuck's sake, people are always getting me, even though like I always mess it up. But yeah, film. Film is something that I run towards. Like I don't see it as labor. I see it as like a way of expression. So it's some sort of like my creative outlet. And other than that, like maybe sleeping. Yeah,
sleeping.
so I'm
Yes.
that boring.
That thing gets creative too.
I like what you talked about in terms of your filmmaking. Is it something that you still do constantly, even with the day job you have now?
Yeah, I still do.
Ooh.
Like I'm still currently
Congrats.
working on a full length feature.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I'm developing it, and I'm working on a short film.
Oh.
Yeah.
I actually watched one of your shorts the other day.
How the fuck? I'm sorry.
Research talaga.
Oh,
Sinordor
wow.
talaga yan
No,
eh.
it was very interesting. I watched the one called An Idol Named Night.
Oh.
Yeah, that was on. I don't know. I just googled his name and I found it, and I was like, I watched a snippet of it. It was very interesting. I think more of the experimental talaga siya. No?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So is that sort of the kind of avenue in terms of filmmaking you're more interested in doing?
I am really into the experimental and the weird fuck shit that whatever I'm doing
That's
currently.
what cockroach nga naman.
Yeah, cockroach. So really, it's more of like
Sounds sick.
that's the reason why that's also the genre that I'm currently venturing in, because it's so cathartic for me. Like the current job that we're doing, it's so timeline-ish. It's so
Corporate.
corporate.
Yeah,
right.
It's a lot of
Definitely.
things is just planned from A to Z. And with the current genre that I'm doing, like I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah,
so that's my creative outlet, and that's like how cathartic I get with my creative outlet.
What about you, Gray? What would you say is your creative outlet? Like, what inspires you outside of work?
Okay, well, first I gotta like always follow up Hans over here with the banger answers as usual. Parentheses too.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. No, but like honestly, like a little absurdity goes a long way. So actually, before answering your question, I would like to say that if you ever need any help, I'm here.
Definitely, I would love that.
Nanood doon ng networking episode.
Oo nga eh. Ako rin pag kailangan ng tulong.
Which you guys also ought to do if you haven't watched
I'm
the.
gonna
Anyway,
extend-
are you guys still hiring or something? No, I'm just kidding.
Hey,
I'm just
Actually,
Joke. Mamaya.
Let's talk about that. Like,
That's too much. I'm really sorry.
Curious nga ako doon sa
Erwan.
film. Gusto ko panoorin ngayon eh.
No, just
but like, okay. In all seriousness, like, to answer your question, like, this is honest to goodness, like one of the things that I have, like, in terms of like a creative outlet. I love supporting people. If any of you are watching this and know me personally, I always just genuinely support people. I love people. I'm an extrovert, so I'm always like, hey, who are you? Who are you? What do you like? Right? So I always that's why when Leandro here invited me to be part of like his old podcast, but then also like this new one, I was always just so game. I'm always just like, I love supporting. That's why I mean it when I say like, if you ever need any help, I'm here for you. So
Aww.
that's legit. That's legit. Yeah.
They just met today.
Yeah, they just met. Gcash.
no, a little bit forward. huh?
Financial support.
But yeah, no, I love it. No, because like, what do I get out of it, right? Because that's always like the question at the end. Like, sure, you like helping others, but like, what do you get out of it? And for me, it's always like constant learning of things that I don't normally get exposed to. So, like, a rough example would be like, I'm attending a K-pop concert, Red Velvet. Let's go.
Oh my God,
Like,
when?
Red
Oh,
Velvet.
kailan siya? Kailan?
May
Holy shit.
Pupunta kayo? Pupunta kayo?
Yeah.
we're both going.
We already,
Red Velvet.
Leandro and
I'm
I
a
got
Rebel
it.
Love. Hi, Rebel.
Yeah,
Anong
Leandro and I got our
tickets?
tickets. Yeah.
We got VIP standing.
Wow.
Yeah, bro.
Part ba to ng...
No, but like,
Fun curve.
but like, I'm talking about like, the only reason why I ever got into K-pop was like, because I was like new at this office, and then I was like, oh, y'all are all watching K-pop stuff, which I can't relate. But then I was like, you know what? Why not just like ask how to get into it? And then I did, and then I started enjoying
Fuck
it.
you, dude. The first thing I said to you, I remember your first day, his fucking first day, I messaged him, bro, you like Red Velvet also?
Yeah, dude.
So, that's a lie. You were always into
So
Red
you were
Velvet.
into Red Velvet, and then
No,
you
no,
lied?
no. I was no. Not this company. I was
Oh,
new in
that
my old
company.
Yeah. There was like a my.
Hey,
That's
that's
embarrassing.
right.
That's a fucking
Man,
embarrassing.
man's trying to be
I'm gonna
like
cut this.
the next Sherlock
Trying
Holmes
to
over
cancel
here.
him.
I'm gonna cut this.
Man, man's trying to be like the second Sherlock Holmes, man, with the stalking his old film stuff, man. Just kidding. No, that's actually he linked me, by the way.
Oh my God.
I haven't
Yeah,
watched it because like I don't want to be spoiled yet. So
Don't watch it. I'm just kidding.
I'll watch it later. No, because like I'm gonna help you, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mamaya panoorin na, tapos may reaction paper na kami. Share na natin yan.
Let's play it
Actually,
here.
just play. Actually, this is about my film.
There's a reason why there's a
Ipa-plug
projector up
talaga
here.
natin.
Oh yeah, but anyway, so like getting exposed to new things, because I don't believe that one person should always just be one thing, right? It's the same belief that I said earlier that you are not what you do because you can fail in what you do, but not with who you are, right? So I believe that you can always just be like a multitude of things. So I can like K-pop, I can also like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that, which is, hey, you wanted me to mention it, but like,
Sorry. I choked on the cinema.
what the hell?
Sinubo niya yung stick.
Oh my God.
I wish I saw that. I was looking the other way.
Did you?
Huh?
How does it taste?
So is it edible?
Pumasok mo sa
It's not.
throat mo.
I wouldn't recommend.
How was the new
Ginawa niyang straw.
How was the new sensation for your throat?
It's not. Continue, please.
What was I talking about though?
How about like helping people
Helping
and like
people,
being
yeah.
part of the multitude?
Oh yeah. Well, like yeah. So it's all part of like the multitudes thing where, you know, you're not just one person. So you are able to like a bunch of things. Like the thing that makes up who you are because of like the things that you like that are unique combinations, right? So like for me, I like K-pop, but I also like comics. I also like tabletop RPGs and stuff like that. So yeah. So in terms of like creative outlets, I think I've already just enumerated them in the last sentence. So yeah, if you also like, oh, sorry, what?
Yeah, sorry. Go on.
No, but if you ever like are interested in like playing a game of like, have you ever tried tabletop RPGs? Well, I'm already
not
sales talking.
really. no.
Okay, maglalaro na tayo ngayon.
But is it something you would like
Should
to try?
we? Oh, yeah, for sure. Like I'm open to anything. So
Yeah,
whatever.
so like there's
down.
the classic is like always Dungeons and Dragons, but there's also like
Oh.
other games like Cyberpunk, because it's like you name the genre that you want.
Uh-huh.
There's a game for it.
Oh.
Role-playing siya.
Is that like a sex game?
Pwede.
Dungeons
That's
and-
like a different thing. I'm sorry.
It can contain
Dungeons and
elements
Dragons.
of it, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. Yeah, but I'm interested. Like I haven't played really, but sure. But yeah, I was about to say like it makes sense like helping other people, because we have this term before called passion projects, if you encounter that.
Oh, that's true.
So we kind of like,
This is a passion
this is a passion project.
Hey.
Yeah, as you
I'm not
mentioned.
getting paid extra for this.
So like before, it was either for the academe or like it's a passion project. So if it's a short film for the academe, you're doing this for school, and then passion project, you're basically paying for all this shit for that. So I still apply that up to this day, passion project. So like I compartmentalize the passion projects and then like helping other people without getting paid, but then I get to experience this stuff. Like for say, I also do musical scoring for film, and then I help a lot of people without being paid because I love it, and I just want to explore. Even though like I make sucky music, I don't mind.
I'm sure
and
you don't.
they're like,
There's no such thing as sucky music.
I mean, like
There's always
very
like,
this is not a
subjective.
pity party. Come on, people.
but there's always like a weirdo out there who likes the weird stuff.
oh yeah, for
That's
sure.
probably me. But yeah,
I mean, like I usually do techno, so that makes sense. So yeah, basically it's helping other people and kind of like is a creative outlet because you get to explore and experience and be in their own worldview, and you understand them and you get to integrate with their creativity. So yeah,
and I feel like creative outputs are, the things that don't necessarily affect your professional work. They still kind of do affect you, like in a strange way. Like I've already mentioned, being in a tabletop role playing sort of like party, but sort of. I don't know if you ever heard the concept of a dungeon master, but not like the kinky kind.
no, why do you have to emphasize that not in
No
a
one-
kinky time? I'm just kidding.
Lock me up. Restrain me.
Yeah, but like a dungeon master or like a game master is like the guy who sort of normally narrates the games, right? Whenever you do like these role playing scenarios. So it's always like this.
Hopefully the narrator.
Fuck you.
Yeah, what is happening? It's the actual definition of it.
Naisip lang ako, sorry.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, go on.
It sounds like a you problem.
Yeah, ako lang to. Yung utak ko lang talaga, sorry.
But yeah, like but essentially, it's like what my job is establishing the scene. So it's sort of like essentially directing in a way, since I'm an art director in a production as well. So I kind of like feel the same way whenever I try to sort of paint a picture, but without actually having visuals in it. When I'm in a presentation with a client, I tend to paint it like, imagine the gates, steel, rusty, as they sort of like open, and it makes this sound that goes.
Oh.
My ears.
Am I naked?
You could be, and you walk down this wooden
That's
plank.
the real. That's
What
the
is he
real.
wearing?
That's the real.
What is he wearing?
What is he wearing?
What is he wearing?
He could be very much naked.
Is it raining?
Oh.
It could be raining, and so you hear
How many nipples does he have?
You hear the
7.5.
because he's a lizard.
Oh, I'm a
that's
reptile
the
man.
hottest thing
That could be a
ever.
thing, right?
Yeah.
And then you hear the pitter patter of your footsteps as puddles are sort of like laying on the floor,
Oh,
and you
that's
just
hot.
sort of like rippling by your foot.
Am I bipedal or on force?
Your choice. What do you like?
Tripedal.
Yeah, you just have the one arm that's like non-functioning at all. Yeah, but like stuff like that, and then like
Yeah.
I did whenever like I do my sessions that way, I always sort of like use actual shooting terms. Like I say that even though to players that don't get it, I say like, oh yeah, just imagine the camera dollying in. Like I say that, and then for some reason they get it.
While playing the game?
Yeah, I do that.
Oh, wow. That makes sense.
Yeah, and then like for some reason it establishes the scene, and yeah, it helps me whenever like I do my presentations for work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's so cool, man.
Dolly in.
because like
No, I like that you said it helps you with your work, because a lot of what we do in advertising, especially when we're pitching, for example,
Yeah.
a lot of it is storytelling, and I think
It is storytelling.
Yes.
yeah, like I think what you do with tabletop RPGs is a lot of it is storytelling, and I think I'm not busting. I'm not licking your balls about this or anything, but Gray is one of the better. Gray is one of the better presenters in.
Yeah,
in,
that's
I
true.
would say.
Yeah.
oh man,
And it really shows.
I
And
agree.
It makes sense. Na his creative outlet is being a dungeon
match.
master.
Oo.
And
But you
not
never
in the
should have
kinky kind.
revealed it.
Yeah, malalaman na nila
Everyone
na
knows.
magiging
People are
dungeon
gonna
master
know, yeah.
ako. Oh, yun pala
I'm just
secret.
kidding.
Oh, but hey, but like if you guys are looking for someone to run your games, hey.
I've asked you already.
May dungeon master name ka ba?
For some reason, like I haven't mentioned, but they've already played games
I have,
where
he's,
Oh.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty fun.
I was naked, by the way.
Oh wow, that
Yung
is
character
a very
ko.
interesting.
he was like a goop.
Yeah.
A goo?
He was a slime man.
Slime man. I'm naked. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so like you just pretend that you're the character.
Yeah.
Role
Embody.
playing.
There's like a big plus if you don't pretend.
Okay.
If you actually believe you're that guy,
I love that. That's like me. I'm delusional 24/7.
you can be your cockroach. You can be the cockroach.
The cockroach.
The
Yeah.
cockroach. Oh my god, I love that.
Dude,
Yeah.
I swear. Like it's gonna be like, I promise you, you're gonna have the time of your life if you like play the game.
I'm actually so interested that let's play after this.
Right after.
Right after
We can
this.
start now. I mean,
No, but, but that's so interesting because like when you mentioned that everything is storytelling, and it makes sense in every facet of like the creative agencies and our like creative industry, it's just storytelling basically. Editing when you're submitting a draft, it's storytelling.
yeah.
Well, all the more reason for like the production people, like cinematographers and stuff. It's still storytelling, the way you frame it and the way you present it, and like the creative directors for sure. It's storytelling. So basically, stories are not like you cannot easily summon it. You have to kind of like this other ways to how to channel these
Right.
stories. Where do you get this?
I
Like,
like to say like everyone has the capacity to come up with a story. Like a
That's
really,
true.
really, really good story.
You're
but
living,
not
you're
everyone
living one.
But not everyone has a capacity to be able to narrate or present it exceptionally.
Yeah.
It's a skill that people have to hone
To
and
hone.
learn talaga.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
but
I think for you, when you do, tabletop RPGs, I feel like it's something that you take into your work. Like the way that you do storytelling. I want to ask Hans if that's the same with you in your filmmaking. Is that something that you can be able to seamlessly take from, your filmmaking into the day-to-day job that you do?
In filmmaking and to connected to like what I'm currently doing at Feature Media, yeah, for sure. Like I remember my friend Cleo, which is also a producer, an editorial producer in the Fat Kid Inside Studios. She mentioned that like everyone always gets me for like the weirdest projects that he gets. Like so, if he had this idea of like of like where I could be free to kind of like think of the weirdest shit that I could do for the project, he gets me for that. And like I always pitch the weirdest ideas. So I remember like being given they gave me this project for, I can't say the brand, but I was able to go crazy with the idea, and I was like thinking, what if we do like a Mission Impossible kind of like style for this? And then they agreed to that. And then like I presented it, and then I delivered, and then I think they liked it, and I guess so. I can't say for sure, but then it was pretty good. So with filmmaking, I can bridge it to my current job by sort of like being out of the box, or like maximum creativity, or like, cerebral things that I do with the job. So yeah, it's the weirdest shit that you could do for the job.
He gave an example of, something that he took. Like, obviously, he's very much into experimental film, and he was able to bring it to one of his projects. Was there an instance wherein you, as a dungeon master, and not in the kinky kind, was able to bring that sort of level of storytelling into a project that you've done?
So you know this because we came from before I was in production. I was like part of the main agency with a main creatives team, and Leandro here, who was part of the team whenever we do pitches, he's always been exposed to like me acting out the skits with my random voices.
Oh God, here we go.
So I like how everyone just sort of like, no, he's gonna do it. I'm probably not gonna do it.
No, you should do
Nah,
it.
you
You
should do it.
yeah,
You should do it.
for the whole episode.
Can you
I
do one
think-
example of the voices you do?
So like what surprises most people
Is that I can like pull off like a sudden voice and it sounds completely different. So there's that. I don't know. Is there anything else?
I can totally like do something else if you need me
Oh
to.
my
but,
God.
like, stuff
Holy
like that.
fuck.
Beautiful.
Swear the girlfriend niya, no?
Oo nga eh. Sa roleplay. Can you be
out.
like Gollum tonight?
Damn.
She's gonna be like, can you please do Gollum?
One time lang.
Can you moan like Hermit?
Can you try?
Mild process.
Holy shit, you can really do
Oh
it.
my god.
Holy shit.
She's gonna probably piss her.
Yeah.
off.
You're gonna clean up the room.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to my girlfriend Jade of like
Shout out Jade.
Jade.
Oh, one
Yeah.
lucky
You're
girl.
God bless
one
you.
lucky girl.
of 10 years.
Oh my god.
Grabe,
Wow,
10
10
years.
10
Are you
years
kidding
is
me?
intense.
Every year ba
Wow.
nagbabago ka ng voice?
I wish.
I'm
This is a
Kirby.
voice acting podcast.
Joke lang.
Last year I kind of sounded like this.
Jesus.
And then the year before that I sounded a little bit more like this.
Oh
I
my
like
god.
that year better.
Shit.
I'm gonna call her Mrs. Worldwide.
Dale.
I love this episode.
No, but yeah, other than, like, it's not just like the way that you present the story or the project or the storyboard, whatever.
Oh yeah.
Even with your ideation, is there something that you pitched to a client that was directly inspired by your tabletop RPG?
Like most of the things that I feel like you can also like agree to this. I just like a genuine intuition, but like whatever the thing is like most inspiring you is going to be like one of like the key things that you're gonna draw from. So for example, like I was running a game on a cyberpunk sort of like setting, and it had like this sort of like gritty sort of neon lights and stuff like that. And we actually got to apply that for a pitch, and the client loved it because like the brand tends to lean more on like a gaming audience, and so like that came to fruition.
That's cool.
And like with all these like special effects, and like I was just so like sort of like I can't fathom the fact that I'm just watching this thing that we conceptualize as a team, but like I know that at the back of my mind, like I was running a campaign with like this setting and like these like sort of aesthetics, and then I was just like, it's actually an ad, dude. So that's definitely like one of like the key highlights of like, because I don't know, like you always grab inspiration for like random things. I'm not saying like you always just gotta be playing tabletop RPG so that you get your inspiration from it, but like I feel like inspiration comes from like the most unexpected things. And I know that's a pretty cliche thing to say, but it does happen, right?
Yeah. True.
Do you know what I miss about life pre-pandemic?
What?
It's being able, because I've been in advertising for maybe five plus years.
Oh wow.
What I miss about pre-pandemic pitching, for example, is being able to obviously be in the same room with who I'm presenting to. Sometimes we do bring props.
Oh.
Like sometimes it's very effective.
That is so camp.
It is, but at the same time, sometimes it conveys the message.
Yeah.
I think in tabletop RPGs, there's a lot of that going on as
Dude,
well.
I would be so down to like pitch and be dressed as like,
Hello, everybody. This is going to be your product for tonight.
and then just like show that thing, like.
I think you brought a prop here.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, you brought
Wait,
a prop.
it's not a prop. It's
Is
more
it?
of like a. It's more like a.
Gallstone collection
Are
mo
we-
ba yan?
Yeah, dude. Like it's my bloody gallstone. You want to see my bloody gallstone?
Look at that beauty.
I don't know, where's the close-up cam? Like, is it this one? What's
Yeah.
up, man? Natural
Look
20.
at that.
There we go.
20.
So can I shout
So
out
what
the
is
guy?
that?
Can I shout out the guy who made this? So it's ACR Dice Works. It's a
Wow.
Serial,
Let's die.
Yeah, it's a serial number 1. So it's his first. That was his first customer. So
Wow.
it's like-
Wow.
Wow.
Engraving.
Layo ba na ng segue ko? Sorry.
yeah, well, like yeah. So it's the dice. It's called Blood and Dice.
Yeah.
Anong tawag sa dice na yan?
You guys can check it out. Here you go.
Anong tawag sa dice na
This
to?
is a D20 because it's
Oh.
the regular one used in D&D.
Oh my god, these are so cool.
Yun yung parang chance, di
Yeah,
ba?
the concept for this is like my setting for the campaign is like in a cold, harsh land, and like there's political strife. There's like depression.
Beautiful. I'll check it out.
And so there's always blood on the ice. So that's why that's.
Di ba you
constant.
roll for initiatives ganon, or
Yeah,
success?
yeah. You've played a game.
I mean, kunyari lang.
That's
So kunyari,
interesting.
nasa CR ka, nag-roll ka ng initiative, tapos
Well,
one. Hindi,
okay.
iihi ka sa pants mo, mga ganun.
It depends on like what do you want to do. So definitely rolling a 1 would mean like
Peeing in your
kung
pants.
ano yung hindi mo inintend na mangyari. So,
Umihi
like,
sa pants ko.
so that would probably be it. But there's another scenario where like your zipper could have been stuck on your willy.
All right.
That's a 1.
That's something I don't want to think about
Yeah.
because
But
So
that's
you use
definitely-
that thing like whenever you're in
Yeah,
love
like
or
in
something?
every game, like you just roll for a chance because
For a chance,
it's easier to like
the only role I know is
419, almost
419.
lighting it up.
Hey, you know, like I have this app called Chooser, and I use it with my friends usually whenever we can't think of anything to eat at or something. So we just basically just tap, and then whoever wins,
Yeah.
you get to choose that option. We
That's
always use that in
essentially
life.
that.
That's essentially
That's
that.
essentially that, but
Oh,
like
may
in
ganun pala.
everything that you do.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, well, not everything, but
That's
you know,
how indecisive we are. Like I could die without Chooser.
you
app.
probably need one of these.
Literally, like
thank you, chooser app.
do I stay or go? Just go. Okay, bye. No, I'm just kidding.
You're basically playing a TRPG already.
Should
I
I resign?
know. Should I
Roll for
resign?
ano. Oh, it's
I
a
should
one.
quit. Chooser. I'm gonna try that out actually.
That's
Try
like
that.
a,
Try that.
Alam mo,
Really?
magandang skit yun, no?
Actually, Key and Peele na.
Oh.
dude.
Ooh.
I
For
wouldn't
initiative.
normally bet like a high stakes like on a single roll.
Depends on the role.
Maybe it intensifies eventually. Or
Should I
something.
run the podcast with these guests?
Can you try? Sige nga.
Oh my
Pwede,
god, I
oo.
think you can.
Say-
Let's try applying the
Okay.
chance that rule.
okay,
Okay.
Pag odd, you're gonna say something.
give me a hot take about
Advertising.
your company.
Oh crap.
Okay,
All right.
okay.
Cool.
Ano yung even?
If it's even
Something
can you think of
positive?
something.
Even kakainin niya yan.
Lugi. Wait, what?
The cinnamon?
Yeah,
something
okay. Kakagatin na lang.
Something controversial and something positive. Para naman.
Ayaw mo ng negatives pa rin.
You know,
Na joke
let's
lang.
appease all the overlords out there.
Okay, go. Roll.
So, I'm gonna roll straight.
Hindi, dapat si-
What are like the parameters of the controversial thing?
Something like a spicy take.
Spicy.
Spicy take. Like something
Okay.
you wouldn't really say to people
Yeah, yung pang
about
sarili
your
lang.
company.
Yeah.
Holy shit, is this allowed? Sorry, everyone. But like, yeah. We'll
Yeah,
see.
it's probably not gonna.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. This is for Gray.
Yeah, screw me in particular.
6. Okay.
That's an even, right? So something
Yeah,
positive.
Something
about it?
positive.
Go.
It's boring, but okay.
Dude, what the heck? Well, dude, where
Say
else?
something nice
Is that
about
harder
it.
Something
for you?
nice.
I mean,
Something nice.
where else can I go? But you know, the people in this company are like genuinely the best I've
The
ever
people
met.
in this company are the best.
Yeah, dude.
True.
Like, honestly,
Fucking, I hear that every day.
Yeah. Except for Leandro for me.
Fuck you, dude.
all right, because you guys hate each other,
Yeah.
right? But like for me right now, since like I've been like invited here and stuff like that, not because like I'm biased for the invite, but like, dude, our agency has a freaking podcast.
That's
like,
true.
Where the heck do you get that kind of opportunity?
Hours after this.
I'm in. You still,
Tutulong ka.
you still need help with that film. No, I'm still gonna help. But yeah, like honestly, it's the people that make it like the best. I know it's like such a cliche thing to say, like the people make you stay, but dude, I swear, like working with you guys and the chemistry that I have whenever I do get to work with every one of you, especially like those who are not part of my team, but there's this giddy feeling whenever like, oh, I get to have a project with like Kevin. It
What?
like no.
That's bullshit.
No, because like, oh, sorry, like, because you guys hate each other. No, but like, I get this giddy feeling whenever I get to work with people. Now that I'm in Prodd, like, I get more avenues to work with different teams more than I used to before. And, you know, like getting these projects with this different roster every time, and it's not always like the same. But you guys are all my friends equally. Dude, I love that feeling.
Equally.
Equally, wala kang bias.
Who do you like better than me? Between me and Kev?
Sa
I think
amin.
you're going to have to roll for that. But you know what? We're going to have to go to.
Okay. Mamaya mag-roll tayo for that.
Alright. Alright, it's your turn.
Wait, so what is like even?
So even is like say something really nice about your company and or your boss, Hello, Erwan.
As if he's watching.
Can you make him watch?
Yeah, make him watch.
I mean, I can, but
All right, and then the odd one is
Controversial.
spicy take.
Spicy
Something
take.
you wouldn't normally tell people about your company. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see after how this goes. All right, I'm gonna roll now for the audio only listeners. So this is available on Spotify, and there's video on Spotify. So if you're only listening on audio, now's the time. I'm jiggling like a
You're
motherfucker.
missing out the jiggling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you should tune into the video version. Right. God damn it!
Ang malas mo.
Yo, wait.
that is so sad. Nobody's gonna view this.
sorry. I'm so sorry, man. But like, as a tabletop nerd, I want to congratulate you on a natural 20.
It's a top. It's
the highest. It's the
Ano
highest
ba
na
yung
regular.
20 yung spicy?
Hindi.
No.
No.
I mean,
All
yeah.
right, fine. Let's go.
Yeah, a game is a
Fine.
game. Something good. Well, basically, I want to be cheesy because we always after work we always get to have this like after work talks with our colleagues and stuff, and we always kind of like talk about like how we love the culture. And I know we hate hearing culture everywhere, but the culture there is different. It's non-existent to the point that it feels like you're still working individually with friends. Cause really, it's like how can I put this in a very nice way? No, I'm just kidding.
Cockroaches.
No, really, no. It's really it's a really nice culture. The thing that we have there, cause it's output based, and basically we can do whatever we want as long as we're still complying to the timeline. And if you want to rest, you can rest. If you need a time off, you can. If you're thinking my first day in a job, Erwin told me that he's like, if you're feeling that you're having a lot of work right now, you can just tell me, and then just like we can adjust and stuff like that. And I was like, no, give me more, because like I'm like that. I don't know.
Strong.
Bitch.
Strong.
And then so it happened.
And that's why we talked about burnout earlier.
And that is why I'm here. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, that's a really nice culture, like output based, and everybody's just like friends with everyone, and we get to still do whatever we want to do. So like right now, I'm still doing film. Oh yeah, and a really good anecdote. Maybe like I remember before I needed to go to Singapore for this. It was like a lab. It's a project development lab for my film, and then it was like my first month in a job. And it's so weird to ask that from your boss to take a week off for a different project. And then I asked Erwin. I was like so shy back then because that was like my first month in a job.
Yeah.
And he's excited. And then he's like, oh, tell me more about that. I want to listen to it. And yeah, so this is another episode of Wish ko lang. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, that's a really good story that I won't ever forget. And that's the point that I knew that we have this freedom to be creative, and then this maybe external creativity would really help us be more creative with our branded works, and then with the content that we create for feature and stuff. So it's really important for him. It's important for me. It's important for everyone that we know that culture. So yeah.
It's all the time we have so far, because a lot of the people here are like, oh, what the fuck, it's so long.
When will it end?
No, fuck, let's drink already. Yeah, we're gonna drink right after this. But like, thank you so much to our guests, Gray and Hans.
Hans and Gray. Thank you so
what
much.
an episode. That was
Two-parter.
kumbaga kung I don't even know what I was gonna say there.
There was like motivational parts. There was
Very,
there was a big sad.
And I
love
was
the
holding my
tangents.
pee all the time.
Me too. I need to pee right now. That's why
Me
I want to
also.
wrap up. Anyway.
Roll for ano.
So roll to pee. Well, thank you so much, Gray and Hans. If you guys want to plug anything, feel
You want to
free.
plug your D&D?
So it's just at Gray Santos Art across Instagram, Twitter, stuff like that. Yeah, I even Discord, I guess. Is that even? Is that a platform?
And if you guys want a dungeon master and not the kinky kind, please feel free to message Mr. Gray Santos.
Mr. Gray Santos.
Honestly, yeah, dude. Like, I'm game to like for people who are just starting out their like sort of journey. If you're curious about it, there's like a new movie about it.
Yeah.
So
I watched it. It was pretty good.
So a lot of people are probably curious about like how the game actually works. I'm here for you. Honestly, I'm super passionate about this sort of stuff. So
Shit.
hit me up.
Hans, when you said that you needed to pee, nag-times 2 yung need ko to pee. So,
Actually, same. So I'm gonna do this really quick.
Okay.
Hans P's on Instagram, and also follow Feature Media and the Fat Kid Inside Studios. I usually do the shorts for TFKI Studios, so please follow that. We're trying to kind of like revive the shorts of TFKI Studios. So
Go for it, guys.
yay! Follow it.
and of course, don't forget to like and subscribe the Oddcast wherever you listen to your podcast. That's on Spotify and on YouTube. And don't forget to follow our socials. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We are oddcast.ph. That was an episode of This is an episode of the Oddcast that you just listened to with Gray and Hans. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Good night.
And we need to pee.
Yeah, I need to be fucking. Let's go.
All right, let's go.